this is something I've wanted to do. This is from the archives. This is from a 1983, and there's an image of it. This is September 1983, The Triangle, the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual People's Union. First, I'm going to read the little blurb that they tell you about the newsletter. Okay, this says, right here. Oh, we can't really see it. Oh. That was a fail. Okay, it says, yeah. The Triangle, that's what it says, yeah. The Triangle is published 7 times a year. 7? That's random. By the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual People's Union of the University of Iowa. And then it has the address, Memorial Union. The cost, let's see. Individual copies are available at no cost at various distribution points in Iowa City. Please address letters to the above address. The Triangle reserves the right to edit as necessary. Letters must be signed and include addresses, phone numbers of the writer for verification. Publication of the name or photograph of any person or organization in articles or advertising in the Triangle is not to be construed as any indication of any sexual orientation or lack thereof. Opinions are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the opinions of the GLBPU, the University of Iowa. But we're working hard to change that. And then the copyright was 1983, University of Iowa, Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual Union. So that is the little blurb that tells you about it. I'm going to start with the first page, which was The AIDS Quilt Comes to Iowa. Here we go. This is by Mike Murphy. Since its inception in 1987, the NAMES Project AIDS Memorial Quilt has helped to memorialize over 100,000 Americans who have died of AIDS. Although parts of the quilt have been hosted in the past in Iowa, the largest showing to date will be September 1st through the 4th, 1993 at the University of Iowa, when over 616 panels will be displayed. Although AIDS is not a gay disease, it has affected large numbers in our community. Fittingly, the NAMES Project has its origins in the gay and lesbian communities of San Francisco. Founder Cleve, that's C-L-E-V-E Jones, conceived the idea of the quilt during a candlelight march to City Hall after the assassination of San Francisco Mayor George Moscone and City Council member Harvey Milk. At the march, activists had attached cardboard signs to the columns of City Hall with the names of some who had died of AIDS. Jones thought the effort would be more effective if the signs were of cloth. A friend who had died, and there's a typo. A friend who had died, and the NAMES Project was born. Since then, the quilt has grown to include over 20,000 panels, including every U.S. state and 29 countries. The quilt is now too large to be displayed at any single public venue, as its size is reported to cover as much as 15 football fields. This is 1993. It remains the largest community arts project in the world. Panels are created by friends, lovers, partners, families, quilting groups in memory of someone who has died. The goal of the NAMES Project is threefold. 1, to illustrate the enormity of the disease. 2, to provide positive and creative means of expressing for those lives that have been touched by this epidemic. 3, to support, page 2. 2, to support the vital funds and to encourage the support for people living with infection, with HIV infection. The quilt is part of the University of Iowa's annual Conference on AIDS for health professionals and others working with people with AIDS. Opening ceremonies are 8 p.m. 1 in the main lounge of the Iowa Memorial Union. The quilt will be available for view that day until 11 p.m., September 2nd and 3rd from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and on September 4th from 8 a.m. to closing ceremonies at 7 p.m. Panels can be dropped off anytime during display hours for inclusion in the Iowa City event and permanent inclusion with the whole quilt in San Francisco. For additional information, please contact campus. So that was the AIDS quilt. That's the first article. And I will go on to read the next article in the next installment.